Relax and get loose while I put you up on game. The Figure Booth with Josh and Nate. This that podcast folk. Those in the know. Batman vs. Iron Man. How would it go? We talking one of a kind. Collectibles. Mezco toys are respectable. It's unacceptable if it's not in the packaging. Nate don't take pics if you ain't rapping it. Nate's dirty tricks are always happening. But damn it, man, don't you be stressing. Round here we believe in plastic confessions. We trying to figure out the figures that's gonna stand the test of time. That G.I. Joe handmade hit me in the spine. There's perfection in the way that these toys are made. But I also wanna know, do I pick Wade or Slade? So this is where I come to kick it with the guys. The Figure Booth. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hello and welcome to the Figure Booth. You have made it to another episode here where we talk about the modern day collector and the ups and downs. We also go over pre-orders. We go over our plastic confessions. We even do interviews from time to time with those in the toy community. I'm your host, Josh, aka Prime to the First, and I'm joined by my friend, co-host, Nate.
Hey guys, this is Nate, aka FigureFan_Nate. You've reached episode 70, which is the top 5 of 2022.
Whew, we made it. This
man.
is our Christmas episode. We're dropping on Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everybody. This is
Merry
our present to you guys. Unwrap it.
That's right.
Get loose. Sit back.
Relax, get loose, unwrap some gifts. Hopefully you're kicking back. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Just a big thanks from me and Josh for this last year of 2022. Just a lot of support this last year.
Yeah, it's been wicked.
It's been great. I know, we took a little break in the middle there, but you guys have just been awesome. So just want to say a big thanks to all of you for your support throughout 2022. And I hope you guys are all having a great Christmas.
And those of you watching us on YouTube, me and Nate, we showed up with our sweaters. We dressed a little fancy. Those listening, check out the old channel there. You can see our nifty sweaters.
That's not right. Christmas, if you listen,
because mine shrunk because I don't know how to wash a Christmas sweater. But no, I didn't shrink. I didn't even wash it.
Yeah, I only really have like a couple of sweaters. Living in Arizona, I don't have a whole lot of sweaters because it's rare that you need them. So this is one of my 2 sweaters that I own. I wanted to get that Mythic Legion's Krampus sweater, but maybe at some other point I'll have to get that because that's a nice, like, ugly sweater in a way.
Yeah. In a good way, right?
In a good way, right? Yeah.
That's cool.
But man, it's been. I can't believe it's already been another year. We did this. We did a best of episode in 2021. We call it the greats of 2021. We probably say the same thing every single year, but it's just weird to think that another year of collecting has gone by, and we're here again.
And continuous content from the Figure Booth that is turning into a movement. Thanks to all of you out there that keep wanting more, which sometimes I scratch my head, but it's awesome the support that we're continuously getting. And I'm like, okay, you guys want some more? Let's do it again. Let's do it for another week.
Yeah, that's really what keeps me and Prime going. It's just the support we get. I had a cool combo with, I think it was Customs by Machu, and he just said, man, that live had me rolling.
Yeah.
You guys are always entertaining. And it's really just because the chat is there staying with us, throwing in some quips, calling me different names, giving Prime beef.
Yeah.
You guys make that fun. So those lives are successful because of you guys. It's huge.
And you know what's funny is it comes down to some of the things you were mentioning when we interviewed Trevor, and when you had the chance to go to Legion's Con. It's like you get a bunch of collectors all in the same room. Like there is inside jokes, there is lots of teasing in a nice way, in a playful way. There is they come up with all these names. Figure Flock Nate, like all this stuff, right? But that type of stuff carries over. Like when you guys first meet in person, it's that commonality that it's like you feel like you've been friends with them forever. So I think that type of support it makes us relaxed, and it's like, okay, it's a comfortable and safe environment where we're not taking and making fun of anyone. We're not taking it to heart. Nothing's really personal, and we're just here to enjoy the hobby. At the end of it, we're here to enjoy the hobby.
Yeah, that's right. And that if we're having fun, that's really what matters, is having fun in this hobby. And I think people sometimes forget that, it's like, hey, let's make sure we're having fun. Don't make this a job.
Yeah.
Don't make it a chore. It should be something that you look forward to. And that's what we want this podcast to be, is something that you look forward to. That's a positive part of your week.
Yeah. And when the chat is really like a little on the wild side, like that hour goes by fast where we're like, what did we even talk about? Like sometimes we'll sign up, we're like, we spent the whole hour just BS and just banter. But it was entertaining. Like I had some moments this last live where I was just cracking up, like almost lost it. Like I couldn't even see the screen anymore because tears were coming out. And new jokes start now, because now I'm getting messages like, Bearded, is that you? Like that's all I'm getting. And I'm like, oh man. So, or Bearded will send me a message like, hey, I'm gonna follow you home tonight. Like it's just stuff like that where it's really funny.
If he didn't live in Canada, I might believe it that he's calling you home. I mean, he did call me at like 12 a.m. earlier this year.
Yeah, and he called me and I was like, man,
like you guys are getting crunk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun. Meeting people in person. I got to go to Legion's Con and meet a lot of you guys in person. That was just a great time. So I know we're doing a lot of reminiscing here, but something that keeps me and Prime going. It's this positive for us.
And hopefully more of that to come in 2023. Like let's attend some cons. Let's get even if it's an unofficial booth, we'll just stand outside the con and just some Sharpies and some duct tape, and we'll just put it there and right next to the trash can.
Right. Yeah. You guys can give me your custom heads, and I'll whip out my
I'll sign them for you. Yeah.
I'll sign it in my Sharpie right across the face. So you won't be able to use that.
Oh, is that a CGC Comic 9.9? Oh, here, let me sign that for you.
Let me sign on top of that. Crack that baby. Let me open that up.
Oh man, good stuff.
Yeah, but man, we've talked about this before too. But we are living in the golden age of collecting.
Yeah.
And I told Prime this a few times, like, hey, do we do a top 10 or a top 5? I kept pushing for top 10 because I'm like, I'm having a really hard time slimming this down to 5.
Yeah.
But a top 10 takes a long time. So we figured we'd slim this down to 5. We've got some honorable mentions in there as well. Things that we maybe were debating on putting in our top 5 list, but didn't quite make the cut. But still figures that we're really liking. So we're going to be covering a lot of different lines, a lot of different figures here. But we'd love to hear from you guys too. I know in the live, you guys were telling us what your top 5s were, what things that you liked. And if we didn't get to read that on the live, just let us know in the comments below. Because I got to watch Lost Cause Collective this last weekend.
Yeah.
I really liked watching that because they had a bunch of different guests on as well as the regulars.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of diverse top 5s, which had me thinking a little bit like, oh yeah, I forgot about that figure. Yeah, that might end up in my top 5 now, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I like to hear what other people think, because me and Prime definitely don't collect everything.
Right.
We've talked about staying focused, and we're trying to do that. So there's a lot that I miss throughout the year. So I really like to hear other people's lists.
So let's get into our top 5. We're going to start with our honorable mentions.
No, we can start with. Well, no, let's start with the top 5, just people are like, hey, did that make the top 5 or not?
Okay.
You're gonna figure out now, and then we'll go into honorable mentions.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. So how about you start with your number 5?
Prime? My number 5. Okay. Let me reach back here into the old toy shelf. Boom.
Oh.
Super 7 Mumra. The accessories alone, the soft good capes, it's wired. He comes with Muttra. He comes with this dog. It looks like he's just stepped out of the show. And it took me back to like the 8-year-old me, where I was like, I remember having and wanting Thundercat toys when I would be watching the cartoon. So yeah, Mumra just like took me back to my childhood. So Super 7 knocked it out with their Mumra. He's my number 5.
Yeah, I feel like Thundercats is one of those lines that Super 7 is nailing like 100%, Yeah. I know people have mixed thoughts about some of the stuff, and some things are better than others, obviously, but the Thundercats, and I know that's a big part of your childhood, it seems like they're kind of firing on all cylinders with that.
Yeah.
And you got that Thunder Tank coming soon, right?
Oh, can't wait. You'll be seeing me in 2023 doing the figure booth. I'll just be sitting on top of the Thundercat. You'll see some claws like in the view of the camera here, hopefully.
Sorry guys, I'm sitting on my Thunder tank.
I'm sitting on my Thunder tank, and I got Galactus in the back seat. Let's go.
That sounds like an awesome party, though. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
good choice though.
That's my number 5.
You might select for your number 5.
What's yours?
My number 5, and this one was tough. I had a lot of figures that went into this slot, and then I traded them out. But there's one that really kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't really originally planning on getting this figure, but I saw so many people have it in hand and saying good things about it. So I decided to take a stab at it, and I'm really happy I did because it ended up being my number 5 figure of the year.
Oh,
the SH Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Just tons of accessories. They nailed the likeness from the movie. At the time that I got this, I hadn't seen the movie. I'd only seen commercials and previews and stuff. But after seeing the movie, it's pretty amazing how accurate this is to the movie. And maybe the movie wasn't one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah.
But man, this figure is incredibly impressive, and it just moves really well. Tons of accessories. I mean, there's just a lot. You get a lot for your money with this.
I saw so many pics of that figure going around where I was almost tempted, like a couple times when it would restock or pop back up, and I'm like, oh, should I pick that up? No, I had discipline, man. It was so hard to not buy into that. Ultimately, what I called it was just my FOMO. Like, I felt like I was missing out, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not a toy photographer, at least right now. I'm not. So they just sit up in the shelf. I don't need a Buzz Lightyear. I'll just enjoy it through everyone's picks. But yeah, he looks like an amazing figure.
Yeah, he is really good. I'm glad I took a chance on it. And I don't collect a ton of SH Figure Art stuff, but if they keep knocking it out like this, they'll definitely get me on more. And it's just something else that I collected that's not really part of my normal stuff. I got to take it down to Iceland with me, so it kind of holds some sentimental value that I got to take it on that vacation. That was a big part of my 2022, and just get the shot there. And I need to do more with him. But yeah, I mean, he's just a great figure. So if you guys have been debating, don't. He's amazing. So number 5 for me.
Nice. All right, number 4. Just a recent pickup, and he just crept up. When I recently just picked up this figure, and a lot of people told me like, "Oh, that dude's fire! Like, you're gonna love it." And that's the Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter.
Nice.
Again, it's like a really 80s feel. Like, this is nostalgia right here for me.
Yeah, this is like a couple of days ago pickup. So the fact that this entered into your top 5 like immediately says a lot about.
I opened them out of the box. I got the actually I'm going on your top 5. Like, he comes with the actually finger. So he's like, of course I'm gonna be top 5. And he's like, actually. So I couldn't stop laughing. And he comes with a smaller version of himself. So that's really super cool. When I first had seen this and they revealed it on the Hasbro like G.I. Joe stream, I was like, damn, I need to get him.
I must have missed that he came with that minifig.
Yeah, and he comes with so many extra hands and accessories, and he comes with his like his baton. He comes with his whistle when he gets in trouble, or he wants you to do some push-ups, and then a weapon too. But all the extra hands, and I mean, it's just like straight out of the cartoon. Again, it's like I took him out of the box, and I was the 8-year-old Prime sitting in front of the TV on a Saturday morning, getting ready to watch Transformers, G.I. Joes, Thundercats, Silverhawks, all the good cartoons.
Right.
But yeah, the finger definitely made the spot. It's the actually finger.
Actually, he's gonna have to make more appearances in lives, maybe. Yeah. Like, actually,
especially when Mario comments anything, he's like, actually. Just how like in Mortal Kombat when you do that one move and the whoops, we could just have Sergeant Slaughter come out on somewhere in the corner of our screen, just actually.
That actually works way too well. But yeah, I mean, G.I. Joe is one of those lines. The classified line just continues to kill it, man. And you said something that I think I wish they would start adopting with Legends a bit more, is the amount of accessories that they include with classified.
Yeah,
I got the Tiger Force Vipers, and I was really just impressed by what they came with. And every time I get one of those in hand, I'm like, damn, these figures are nice for the price point.
Yep,
they're just really premium figures for like $25.
Yeah,
you just can't beat it.
Yeah,
so makes sense. All right.
All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4.
What's your number 4?
My number 4. Oh, this is a hard one. I'm going to say my number 4 is the, and I went back and forth on this on what I was going to pick, but I feel like the uniqueness of the figure, what you get in the package, and being it sort of like an introductory type thing for some people that maybe don't collect the line, I think they just knocked it out of the park. I'm going with the Mythic Legion's Headless Horseman.
Nice.
Yeah, he just, I mean, everybody talks about the Mythic Legion's Balius, which is the horse, the first one that they did. The cool thing about Headless Horseman is if you took the dive on him, he came with a full horse. He came with his own horse, and it's the black horse with the red eyes, which works for a lot of DC stuff too, if you're a DC fan. The pumpkin head sculpt, which is the extreme detail in the pumpkin and the flame effects. This was a new suit at the time that I had not seen before, so this is all new, like tooling in his suit. Yeah, there's some other legions. I think Valak that looks a lot like him. He comes with that head stump piece. I mean, they just really went all out with him, and I was extremely impressed. And the cloth goods. This is one of the first figures that we see with the CJSM cloth goods, which makes me very excited for the future, because if this is the quality that we're going to get in Legions going forward, it's just incredibly impressive. Just really kind of caught me off guard. I knew I was going to get Figure Obscura stuff, but when I saw Headless Horseman, it was just like, wow. They really pulled out all the stops. So yeah, shout out to Four Horsemen Studios. I had another one that I was debating on putting in my top 5. He'll probably be one of my honorable mentions. Yeah. But I think just the newness of Headless Horseman and, just being an introductory figure, I think it brought a lot of people in the line. So it was just really impressive for me.
That's awesome. Yep. Hopefully 2023, I get some more Mythic Legions.
Yeah, we'll see. The year of the Legions, the year of the Joy Toy. I'm not quite sure, because Prime's been teetering.
There's 12 months. I can share 6 months, half and half.
All right. That's fair.
All right. Number 3 for me, it was Mezco, and it's all, but I like their licensed character, like not their Rumble stuff, but I had Wolverine as their number 3.
Nice.
And I just recently got the Crow, but this Wolverine, like, it's been sitting on my desk since I got it. So the tin, the accessories, the Sentinel base, like the suit, mine didn't have any issues. Mine was like straight. I had no like mismatching stripes. The different types of belt you can put on them, the head sculpts, like they gave you so much. They knocked it out of the park. They gave you first appearance Wolverine. They gave you unmasked, a damaged version. Like, it was just awesome.
Yeah, that figure is a chef's kiss, man. Yeah. And they included that diorama base too.
Yep.
With the light up features. And like you said, just the so many head sculpts. I think there's at least 20 in there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
On top of that, an improved buck.
Yeah.
That Wolverine buck is amazing. Really great articulation and just like improved cloth goods. I don't know. There might not be a lot of OG Mezco collectors, but cloth goods have come a long way with Mezco.
From that first,
yeah, those first figures were like kind of a weird sort of spandex look. And when you get Wolverine, he seems like way more premium, much nicer material, like just feels a lot better in your hands. It's funny because we both have Mezcos on our number 3. This is another one that was like every single decision that I made was very hard to determine, like, which one do I pick? Am I going to go here or am I going to go here? But this is a set that I always regretted not getting. Wasn't going to pay the aftermarket prices. Wasn't sure when we would see them or in what form again. But Mezco reintroduced them this year, and I couldn't say no. I'm very happy that I grabbed them. But the PSCC Gig from Hell set.
Yeah.
Just incredible. Not only in the figures, the PSCC are great figures, very unique styling. I love the cloth goods, but in all the accessories they provided. I've used those accessories in so many shots this year. The beer cans and the bottles and, you just got so much stuff in there. There's like instrument parts and I can't even remember all of it, but it was just packed to the gills with stuff, which for me as a toy photographer, I'm like, okay, this gets a lot more bumps in my list because of the usability factor. So yeah, PSCC Gig from Hell set. Hopefully you guys got this one or the new set they just released. They gave us a lot of opportunities for this.
Yeah.
If you missed out, I feel sorry for you. They're really, really great figures.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was awesome of them to release some of them in two separate, versions.
Giving us a lot of chances, because it went for a long time there where, if you didn't get that first set, you weren't going to have those figures, or you're going to have to spend $800 to get them in hand, which I wasn't willing to do.
Yeah, and the cool thing is they included the original pink skull heads. So
yeah, they did.
You definitely felt like you got an upgraded version.
I got at least 36 head sculpts with mine.
Damn, you got some.
And yeah, I mean, they just really went above and beyond for me as being a hardcore Mezco fan. Like, yeah, let's get
36 head sculpts. They're all just the same pink head sculpt.
Right. And I call it, you got too many points. It's going to be too many heads. That's going to be my new name.
Too many points, too many heads.
Too many heads, yeah. But yeah, just a great set, man. One of my favorites of the year. I need to shoot more of them. I've done a couple of shots.
Yeah.
I'll probably say this for every single figure that I do. But yeah, it's a really great figure.
Awesome. All right, number 2. Hasbro Iron Man.
Dang. That's the Hasbro retro one. Right?
This is the Iron Man retro one with this huge plasma cannon. Like, this is straight out of Marvel's CampCon.
I love that they included the plasma cannon.
Like how long have us collect? Oh, the proton cannon. Yeah, what is it? Plasma cannon, proton cannon.
You did.
Yeah, and the move's even called like proton. Yeah, dummy. So the proton cannon.
Blast.
Yeah. It's just like the feel of it. If you guys have this Iron Man retro from Marvel Legends, it's the feel of it. He's glossy, he's shiny, like it's straight out of the cartoon. My lineup is all cartoon related.
It's all nostalgia.
Crazy. It's all nostalgia.
If you want Prime to buy a figure, just make it nostalgia based, and he'll probably buy it.
That retro packaging gets me all the time. Like now, I just need the rest of the characters from that Iron Man 90s cartoon. But yeah, it was crazy. I opened them up and I haven't been able to put him down. He's been on my desk since I got him, and he's awesome. I'm always messing with them, and it's perfect. Again, it's like I took him right out of the cartoon, and that proton cannon, it easily stands on that little tiny stand. But it's awesome. It's an awesome fig. I think it was priced accordingly, and they made it easily available. Like it wasn't a freaking hassle to get them. So happy collector over here.
Yeah, he's one of those ones. Whoops, I never switched this to 2. He's one of the ones that if I see him in the wild, I'm going to get him. I've seen pictures of you. I watched you unbox him, and I can kind of see like on that, you're like, wow, this is impressive. You couldn't put him down. And for me, that's the most accurate looking as far as from the game. Iron Man was one of my main lineups. He was always like one of my go-to characters in Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah.
So he looks like a spitting image of his game form. So yeah, I don't collect a lot of Legends, but that's one I would definitely grab if I see it in person.
Yeah.
Sticking on the Marvel train, I have another Marvel. I know I'm a DC guy and I've got Marvel in my top 5. That's weird, huh? But I think the counterpart to this figure was in my top 5 of last year. And this one is no different. The Sentinel Peter B. Parker.
Oh, nice.
He's just man. I wish all figures were articulated this well.
Yeah.
Sentinel does something with their figures where the joints are solid and the figure is easy to pose and can hit really any pose that you want it to hit easily. They come with a bunch of different looks. Like he comes with alternate head sculpts, his unmasked head. I've got him holding the coffee cup that he came with. This is actually a shot I was working on the pose, but I've got Mafex Spider-Man, and those are very high on my list. And it's hard to determine, maybe if I got the classic suit, it would have been a bit higher. Or it would have been a contender for a top 5 for me. But since I've only got the Sentinel, this figure is just really damn impressive. And I am on for basically whatever Sentinel going to do. I can't wait for the Gwen they're going to do.
Yeah.
The Miles is one of my favorite figures that I own. So yeah, Sentinel Peter B. Parker, you can't go wrong with this figure. So get him if you missed him.
That is awesome. And I'll follow.
He's great, man.
I'll follow that. Your number 2, Peter B. Parker, and I'll raise you a Mayfix comic accurate or comic alternative, comic costume. Nice. Spider-Man.
Number 1, baby.
Number 1. This is, man, he's just so fun to pose. It's a Mayfix. You know, if you have already a Mayfix, you're collecting the Marvel line or some of the DC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The colors are just, like, it looks like he's dancing like Mario right there. He's got one leg up. He's doing the cha-cha. Like, it's just, you can get him in these funky poses. And to me, it was the colors. Like, they really pop.
Yeah.
I already have some of the other Mayfix Spider-Man, so I already kind of knew what I was getting myself into. But they stepped it up again. Like, the quality feels good, the plastic feels good, but the colors are just so solid. Like, that matte feel that they have on this guy, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Had that been the original color, I can see why they left that one kind of for a little bit later. Like, we'll do that color a little bit later.
Yeah.
I got the first one, which I think they called a comic version.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the first one with like some darker blues, darker reds. I really love that figure. But seeing the color on that new one, wow, they just really knocked it out of the park. It's such a nice looking figure.
Yeah. And that head, it's like really Todd McFarlane-esque.
Yeah.
Reminds me of, the big eyes and the skinny little head and stuff. And, the web lines are raised, so that's...
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Super cool. I mean, I just mentioned Mafex when I was talking about that Sentinel, and Mafex and Sentinel to me are the best Spider-Man figures out there. I've said this before, like I'm not a big Spider-Man fan from Mezco. Not because they don't look good, but they just don't move like you want a Spider-Man figure to move.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's one of the most agile superheroes out there. So if you're going to make a figure, you better make sure that thing can move as good as Spider-Man can. Yeah. Because if he can't, then what's the point? You're taking away a lot of the usability, at least for me, in the figure.
Yeah.
You can see Prime is doing all kinds of different poses. That's what a Spider-Man figure should be achieving, is poses like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like the proportions, like he's lean, like he's supposed to be. That head, it's just like you can see it on his profile. It looks like he's wearing it almost looks like he stepped out of the comic books. He had that little like nose divot there on his mask when the way Todd would draw him. So yeah, to me, again, the nostalgia, something straight out of the comic book pages. I went from TV cartoons to comic books, and I freaking loved it. Like, my lineup, I was looking at the figures, and I was like, man, this is like straight up my childhood. Like, when I was 8, this is what I wanted. Like Thundercat figures, G.I. Joe figures that were this good, that represented what I saw on the TV screen. Iron Man and Spider-Man, like Wolverine, like, it was everything we were watching as kids.
Yeah. I mean, nostalgia is a big seller, right? Yeah. And that's part of my number 1 as well. Nostalgia based, one of my favorite comics of all time, one of the darkest comics I ever read, and it really gave me a taste for that. I'm like, man, I didn't think I wanted comic books like this until I read this comic. And then I wasn't sure if we were ever going to get figures for it. It's been a long time. DC did it at one point, and they were a little bit lackluster. But this one, it's surprising. My top figure is actually a third-party figure.
Whoa. Your number 1 spot is a third party?
It is.
Okay. Lay it on us.
It's the ink blot from Felix Toys.
Nice. Who would have thunk Felix Toys would have been your number 1 spot?
Man, this is one of those figures that I got, and like you said, I haven't been able to. I always go back to it and kind of mess with it every once in a while. Or throw a different head sculpt. Like they included 3 different versions of his head sculpt. I mean, and that's just a ink blot, like a Rorschach ink blot. So and it's a cool thing in the comic that you don't always pick up on. You kind of have to be looking for it, or in the movie they do it, but his face is always changing, you know? So the fact that they included 3 different versions of the Rorschach ink blot was really cool. Cause I'm like, okay, that's a cool call out to the character. to get that kind of level of accuracy. And not only, he's like Mezco quality. He moves really well. He's got double jointed legs, elbows. The cloth goods are really well done. I think sometimes with third party cloth goods kind of come out a little baggy at times.
Yeah.
But these feel Mezco quality to me. They just did a really good job with this figure. I'm incredibly impressed from it.
They stepped it up from the clown or the Joker one, the one that we got.
Yeah. Okay. So the Joker one, had some uneven feet.
Yeah.
His joints were really tight, and I get scared to bend those elbows. And I think this is a definite improvement over that. They took some of that feedback and made him. He's a bit shorter too, so he fits more in scale with Mezco. That Joker was a bit tall.
Mm-hmm.
My only wish is that they continue to give us Watchmen figures.
Oh, okay.
Give me the Comedian, give me Dr. Manhattan, give me everybody. I want them all because if they're going to continue to come out this good, I will buy every single one of them. And I just think Watchmen's not one of those comics that gets a lot of representation from a figure standpoint.
Right.
So the fact that we're getting it with a third party is just really cool. So Felix Toys Inkblot, my number one figure of 2022.
Whoa, nice. Well, that was our top 5. What about the ones that didn't make it?
Ooh, honorable mentions. I think me and Prime had quite a few of these. Like I talked about, we thought about making this a top 10 list because we had so many that we wanted to talk about. But it's just not feasible. 10 figures, we'd take the entire stream just doing that. And we're probably going to take most of the stream just doing honorable mentions. But honorable mentions for a reason. These are figures that really were special, almost made that top 5, but didn't quite get there. But still, some of the best figures of the year, in our opinion. So what's one of your honorable mentions?
My first one, and these ones are always on my radar. Like lately, I always keep an eye out for them. I'm becoming more and more of a fan since the year before, since last year, because I started picking up some of them. But I feel like with this specific line, they're continuously stepping it up, and the quality is there. Like I love the packaging, but it's NECA. I got here Merciless Ming, in this different color schemes. Like he almost looks like the Mandarin, Defenders of the Earth retro packaging that they came in. I just wish it would have been collector friendly, but it feels like a Marvel Legend. Like the plastic is really good quality, and right out of the package, he has double jointed knees, elbows. I had no issues. I was bending them in all sorts of ways, just like a Legend did, So
right.
I know, and easy to find too. The distribution has been really great with NECA. So
so when you say retro card, those came on like a blister pack card, right?
Yeah, it came on a blister pack.
Yeah, which is rough because you're like, man, I really like this packaging. I want to save it somehow, but you just can't do that. You have to rip into it.
Yeah, so that's
rip into it.
That's one of my honorable mentions.
Nice. So one of mine is also a NECA, and he's right over here. The NECA Dawn the Dark Turtle figure. The only reason why this didn't get into my top 5 is, it's NECA, so the articulation's a bit lacking. He doesn't move quite as much as I would like. He's a bit more stiff.
Yeah.
His torso is basically non-movable. I mean, I can't do really anything with that. I think it's because it's attached to the turtle, which I get. He's a turtle. But being a Batman version of the Turtles, it's like, my bread and butter. I love Turtles. I love Batman. So to get both of them kind of combined in this figure, this is the main reason why I got on the loot crates, right? Series 2. I saw him as a figure on there, and I said, that's a no-brainer. I just have to do it. So when I got him in hand, I was very impressed. Don't get me wrong. If he's not in the top 5, he's still one of my top figures, probably number 6 on the list. I'm just very happy with it. Glad to have him in my collection. He's one of those figures that I will probably just never get rid of for what he represents.
And that's what I love. I mean, NECA's been really handing out all sorts of different licenses. Like with those Defenders of Earth, like the paint application is just killer. Like for what you're getting for the price point, he comes with some killer accessories. It's not over the top, but it's enough where I'm like, okay, I'm getting a different set of hands. I'm getting some weapons, some, but the paint application on there, it was, I didn't have any like goofy eyes or missed beards or anything like that. Like it was really spot on. Him and Flash Gordon, like those, again, the colors they use, it's a work of art.
Yeah, I know NECA, a while ago. I don't think they've had this reputation for a while, but a lot of people are like, NECAs are brittle and they break, and sometimes the paint offs are off. But to Prime's point, the toe hinge, right. I haven't received a NECA this year that I was worried about breaking or I had any kind of issue with whatsoever. The distribution's been better, which for me is huge because I hate having to search for something that should be readily available.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of like just different stuff, like what Prime's holding up. You got the Defenders line, which Flash Gordon. I mean, did you ever think we would see Flash Gordon figures?
Yeah.
Especially from the movie. That's just, it's crazy that they're giving us that. So, mine, he might be a little bit. There we go. Representing Mythic Legions again. He was the other one. I said there's 2 Legions I was debating on getting in my top 5.
Yeah.
It was Headless Horseman and the Unknown one.
Nice.
And while I do really love this figure, I mean, he's just so dope. Just looking at him now, I'm like, maybe I should have put him in my top 5. I think the only reason why he did not end up in my top 5 is because he was not new parts. He has a lot of reused older parts from Legions, which isn't a bad thing because that's why you collect Legions, the pop and swap. But yeah, I got him at Legions Con, so he's got a special place in my heart just knowing that I got him at that convention.
Yep.
I took a couple shots of him. He quickly ended up on my shelf over here. I made room for him specifically because I was so impressed. I just love the colors, that kind of like tarnished bronze, the red eyes on the helmet. Good. Yeah, the wings are completely new. Not new as in tooling, but just the coloring with the veins kind of popping out. Really, really cool figure. So hopefully you guys got your hands on him through that other sale. I think they will be doing another release of him, so don't fret too much. If you didn't get a chance to get him when he went up for sale after the con, I'm pretty sure he's going to get his own single release. So just hold on. You will get your chance on him. Don't pay aftermarket prices for this stuff because you'll get another chance. But yeah, he's an amazing figure.
Awesome. Awesome.
Do you have any other honorable mentions?
Ooh, made it back into the shelf without knocking anything down. That's impressive.
I know. I'm like, I don't even want to touch it anymore because I'm like, I can't believe I didn't knock anything out. He's like back there.
With the wings and everything, man.
I know. I'm like, I had to kind of place him.
That's skill right there. That's gonna be another segment. How to move and rearrange your shelves without knocking figures down. Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Oh man, I did have another honorable mention, and again, it's the nostalgia factor. Like I definitely feel like the 8-year-old in me was picking out all the figures, and Saturday mornings, man. It was this 40th anniversary He-Man by Mattel. It's like Legends and Mattel hooked up one night and had a baby, and like we got some Legend stuff. We got some double jointed elbows. We got some double jointed legs. He's got really good ankle pivot. It's for the price, and then all his weapons, like I was able to put them all on his back. Like he's got an axe, his sword, and his shield back there.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks like he jumped right out of the cartoon.
And I love it that it's like from the neck down, it's like a brand new, like he just got some plastic surgery done. He's like new and improved for 2022, but it's still the same dude. It's still He-Man with this old school head, the funky 80s haircut and the head. I mean, it looks like they popped off a head off of one of those funky bucks, And he comes with 2 or 3 set of hands. So I again, for the price point, it was killer, and the boxing was collector friendly. I loved it.
Yeah, you make a good point. It's funny how a character that has been around for as long as He-Man has, you think to yourself, like, how are they going to make him look any different than what they've done prior? But somehow Mattel was able to do that and bring him into the modern age with updated articulation, and make him look a bit more realistic in a way, but also very true to the cartoon.
Yeah, putting my body to shame. I'm like, man, it's got 2023 goals right here. 2023 goals. And this time next year, I'm gonna just be wearing a He-Man like front thing and be like,
oh shit. Is that
no, don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that.
No. Is it to get a He-Man body?
Yeah, that's gonna be 2023 goal. He-Man body.
He-Man body. All right. Well, we're gonna hold him to it. You heard it here first.
Damn.
New year, new prime.
All
right. Another Mezco in my honorable mentions. The Mezco Golden Age Batman.
Nice. Yep. He almost made my list too.
Yeah. As if I needed any more Mezco Batman, I did pick him up. And yeah, you just can't get anything more classic than this. And the fact that he's a great representation of Adam West. I know people aren't a big fan of the unmasked head sculpt. I actually really like it.
Yeah.
It's the one that I display him with. And he's just very classic Batman. He's kind of an essential piece to my collection that I don't have a lot of classic representation. So yeah, I was just really impressed with the Golden Age Batman. I love how he came with the big bomb, and I've done quite a few shots with him. That wall scaling shot. So I've got some kind of like,
that's right. Yep.
Personal, like, hey, I was really proud of that shot. So that's another reason why he's up there. Just had a lot of fun with him this year. So yeah, Mezco Golden Age Batman. I still love Mezco, guys, so don't get me wrong. They make great figures. Their pre-orders aren't the best.
Yeah.
You have any more honorable mentions?
I have one last one honorable mention. Last one.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully it's Joy Toy representing the 1/18 scale.
Nice.
Joy Toy. This is one of their mechs. The thing is, I don't remember any of the names. You guys know how I am with Star Wars movies. I'm not gonna remember none of these mechs movies. But this mech was eye-catching. It was a sweet and sour experience because the leg kept popping off. But I've had them on my back shelf the whole year just because I love the look. And I just wish I would have had more time and more, I don't know, just more focus to really dive into specifically Joy Toy, just because they've been pumping out so much good stuff. So honorable mention, just hopefully they become more of a focus for 2023.
Nice.
Yeah,
mine's kind of the same idea. And following the recency bias of your Sergeant Slaughter purchase and then entering into the top 5 immediately after. This one is probably one of my most recent purchases. I've taken some shots of them, but the NECA, The Last Ronin, just a really dope figure. I know 2 of my honorable mentions are turtle figures from NECA, but I just love. I mean, I don't go anybody else for turtles anymore. I've decided to go full NECA for all my turtle stuff, and I'm happy that I am. Last Ronin was one of those comics I read later in the year, and then immediately needed figures from after I read the comic. If you guys haven't read The Last Ronin, I'm not going to spoil it, but for me, it's one of the best comics out there. The story, if you're heavy into the turtles, it's even better because it's so rich into the turtle lore. But they just did a really good job of representing this figure from the comic. He's got updated articulation. He moves really good. He looks great. And to Prime's point about future of 2023, if you guys saw that recent tease from NECA, they're going to go real heavy on the Last Ronin line. They're going to do all the brothers. They're going to do the enemies. They're going to do a lot of stuff. So I hope we get more Mirage Turtles. That's one of the missing pieces in my collection. But yeah, this one, maybe not the best moving figure. Like I wish his head could move a little bit better.
Yeah.
But as far as looks and detail and sculpt, they absolutely killed it. So yeah, NECA The Last Ronin, one of my honorable mentions.
Awesome. That's our list and our honorable mentions. Let us know, you guys, what your guys' list was. How easy or difficult was it to come up with your list? Let us know down below.
Yeah, as you guys are hitting those like buttons, make sure you leave a comment and tell us, to Prime's point, tell us what your top 5s are. What are they matching?
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with us? Do you disagree? Do you think our picks are whack? Let us know. We want to hear from you. So yeah, please leave your comments below what your top 5s are. All right. Won't go into all the usual stuff, but since it is Christmas time and, we've got some kind of festive things going on. Thought it would be fun to talk about maybe what some of your favorite Christmas memories are. Prime, do you have one Christmas memory that comes to mind?
And it's funny because there's a couple that come to mind because I think Christmas for me, one, it's my favorite holiday out of all the other holidays. Like Christmas time is just it's not even so much about the gift receiving, but it's just that whole experience. Like there's lights, everyone like the gathering of families, like I really like giving gifts and then seeing the individual's expression, like, oh, I can't believe you, like, how did you know I want this? Or, getting that one thing that they wanted off the list, or that one thing that they really didn't tell anybody, but maybe they mentioned it like months ago, earlier in the year or something. Because for me, like that's how I was growing up. I always had, like, my brothers and sisters always did a good job of just blowing me away. Like I would always get I would always get like a ton of gifts. I was lucky enough that like I have a large family that they would do everything they can to, like, my parents would get me the figures, but my sisters and brothers, they would chip in. And I remember opening this relatively large box, and I was opening it up, and it was the '89 Batmobile from Kenner.
Oh, damn.
And man, I was just like, because I opened up, the first couple gifts, and it was like I got Batman, then I got Joker, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, all right, so I got Joker and Batman. All right, cool. And at that point, I was like, oh man, I wish I had the play set. I wish that's it. And then I opened up some other gifts, and there was like other toys, or I wasn't into Legos, but it was just like He-Man or some Joes. And then they're like, okay, this one. And I opened it up, and it was the '89th, Batmobile. And man, I was just like, all of a sudden I saw the movie like in my head. I was like, oh, that's it. I want to make them do this scene and that scene, and the little guns pop up, and and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just found it the other day in a box because I'm still unpacking from our move, and I'm like, holy crap, I still have my '89 Batmobile from when I was a kid. So it's funny that you asked if I had. I got that for Christmas, and it's like it stays with me every time I see that freaking Batmobile. I'm like, and I think that's the nostalgia factor. Like I remember being a kid and opening up ripping up the wrapping paper and just seeing. I was like, it's the Batmobile. I got Batman, Joker, and the Batmobile. Like that was it. I was like, I'm done. Thank you. Good night. I'm gonna go to my room and play. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because your top 5 was full of nostalgia, but that's part of the reason why is because it was such a big part of our childhood.
Yeah.
And me and Prime are both huge Batman fans, so getting Batman into the Christmas tree, or for me, getting Turtles into the Christmas tree was always just like, oh my God, just freaking out. I had everything Turtles in my room, bed sheets, you name it, clothes, all that stuff. For me, one of mine is actually not figure related, but it sticks with me because it was one of those Christmases that I'm just begging for this gift all year long. Just tell my mom, please, I want this. It was the Nintendo 64. And my mom's like, no, we're not going to do that. It's too much money. It's too much money. Ask your dad for it, that type of thing. Or I wanted it so bad. It was one of those things that you just start like hurting. Like, I just want it. I'm doing anything I can to get my mom to get it for me. I'm doing extra chores and trying to like make detours when we go to Toys R Us. Like, hey, you see this Nintendo section? Like, this is one of the games I would want. But she had me convinced I wasn't going to get it, told me it's too expensive, wasn't going to be able to do it this year. Santa wasn't going to bring it through. So, I'm going on Christmas morning. Still happy about it being Christmas, but I just know, like, I'm probably not going to get this Nintendo.
Yeah.
But sure enough, I see a box under there. I'm like, that looks Nintendo size. And you see the videos of kids freaking out. That was basically me.
Yeah.
As soon as I just ripped a piece of it and I saw it's a Nintendo 64, I'm like, I lost my mind. I tackled my mom. Pushed my brother out of the way to get to the TV. I kind of just stopped everything I was doing, went and plugged it in. And I don't think I got away from that TV for like 2 days straight. It was the best experience. Just had so much fun that holiday season. Got exactly what I wanted. I felt like Ralphie from the Christmas Story. He's trying so hard to get the BB gun. Finally gets it, and it's like, it's just the best thing ever. So I've got a lot of memories like that with the holidays, but that one always just sticks with me because of how much I wanted that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to get it. So actually getting it on Christmas morning was just like it was a huge surprise. It was awesome.
And I'll let you in on a little secret as a parent. And but I probably shouldn't. But as a parent, that's kind of like once you know your kid wants this one particular thing,
Yeah.
you don't want to give into it and be like, okay, I'll get it. We'll get that for you, because then that's it. The journey. I don't know, the pleasure of the
like
fun of it is out of it, right?
right.
So we, as parents, because your kids drive you so crazy, of course we will do anything for our kids, but we got to bring them down a level. You want to, like, especially during
Yeah.
Christmas, you want to give them like no hope, like make them work for it and be like, it's hopeless. Like, nope, you better just wish upon a star or something. You better hope Santa, like, just
Right.
bring them down a little bit. And then when you see it, when you see and again, that's the thing, like you see their expression. Like I've done that to my kids where I'm like, yeah, that, good luck, you're not gonna get that. Don't, like, you better tell Santa, or you better go start picking up some recycling cans or something. I don't know, write somebody, Dear Abby. And then of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, of course you're gonna get that. Like, I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure you get that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Like, they open it and it's like their mind just explodes, like, oh my god, like I got it, like that's it, mission accomplished. That's as a parent, like that's a really good satisfying feeling, and that's a memory that stays with us. Like, I remember my kids for their couple of Christmases, like this Christmas, like hopefully some of the things that they asked for, and they're like, I'm gonna ask for this because I know Dad's not gonna get it. And a lot of times it's not even that it's expensive. Sometimes it's just like they're asking for like this odd, one of a kind type of thing where it's like you got to go on a mission because they're asking for the popular thing, So
Right.
yeah, it's pretty cool to see your kid have that type of experience, and then you're like, yeah, I made that happen. You're like, there is no Santa, no.
Yeah, I mean,
give me the credit.
Yeah, that's what my mom did. She was really good about being just stone faced.
Yeah,
your grades weren't good enough.
Yeah.
I just don't have the money for it. That type of thing.
And you're like feeling like Charlie Brown. You're like kicking a rock down the road, just like they're playing the Incredible Hulk music.
Exactly. I'm just moping around the house, a week before Christmas, just talking about, man, my friends are all gonna be playing that Nintendo. Just being a spoiled little brat about it.
Putting all your stuff in a little handkerchief, carrying a stick down your backyard. I'm gonna hit this. I'm running away, Mom.
I'm gonna go move in with my friend Josh because he's gonna get it. Yeah, and I won't have it. Just acting like a little bastard.
I'm moving in with Josh and Uncle Mario.
Right. Yeah. They're gonna have the Nintendo 64. I don't want to live here anymore.
Yeah.
That's what happens. I mean, it's really stuck with me.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and then another thing I want to talk about, maybe going a little out of order here, but as we're looking at towards 2023, what are some of your figure predictions, or what are some of the stuff that you hope gets made?
Man, so I'll pick two companies, and we'll try to keep it kind of semi-organized. I'll do Mezco and I'll do Super 7, just because I think they've been heavy on my radar. And even though I haven't been picking up a lot of Rumble Society stuff, I really like when Mezco does licensed stuff. Like, I just recently got the Crow. Man, they knocked it out of the park. So for Mezco, like, that's what I would love, is for them to pick up other movie franchises. Like, give us, they did it. I've seen Constantine. He's still in the way. I'll be getting him. But like, imagine if like Mezco was to do like Die Hard or something. Like, that would be epic.
That would be awesome.
So I think last year or the year before, we wanted Mezco to do Dick Tracy. Like, I want Mezco to tackle, give us a movie franchise, like something else. Like, give us, you guys did Crow. Like, I don't know. I would say, like, just give us, fill in the blank, this type of movie. First thing that comes to mind, just because it's Christmas, Die Hard. Like, Die Hard, I think, is a Christmas movie.
Hard.
Yeah. So how cool would it be to
do Hans Gruber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the Constantine, I see the Crow. I'm like, man, Bruce Willis and Mezco line. Like, I want him in his ratty ass tank top. Like, give me a lighter. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I would love to have a Bruce Willis Die Hard Mezco figure. So Mezco, Die Hard, that's what I want. Super 7, you guys have been killing it with all the nostalgia stuff. You guys got The Simpsons, you guys got Thundercats, Silverhawks. I would love for Super 7 to pick up Brave Star. Like, Brave Star was a really popular cartoon, short run. I think they only had 3 seasons, but their figures are, there's a hardcore collectors out there for like Brave Star, and just some of he had a horse that was also his sidekick, so that I always thought that was kind of weird. But I think Bravestar would be a cool, funky 80s that falls right in there, that Silverhawks
seems
genre.
Like right up their wheelhouse, because they've been doing stuff that I just didn't think we would get, like Silverhawks.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd get Silverhawks figures. So that seems
like, if you don't give us Bravestar, then give us Street Sharks. Like, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Street Sharks would be awesome. Those are good ones.
So those are my wants for 2023. Do Super 7, do Bravestar, do Street Sharks, and Mezco, give us like a Die Hard or another movie franchise. But I would say Die Hard.
Die Hard seems like a good one. And they give us the bloody feet.
Yeah.
They could give us like maybe
little
different
Santa hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Different undershirts, one that's like nice and clean white at the start of the movie. And then at the end, it's like almost completely black. It's just all dirty.
Because look at those zombies that they gave us from Land of the what? Curse of the Dead.
Yeah. Those are great. And then you always see a lot of people recreating that scene where he's in the
air duct.
Ventilation duct, and he's got the
lighter.
The lighter. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that? Like the way, and
that'd be incredible.
Really, what came to mind was not only because it's Christmas and Die Hard always, but seeing the Crow in hand, like his face, the way it's painted, it's not white. It's not white paint, even though we know it is, but it looks like his face is actually painted. Like, it's really
like
crazy.
Somebody actually
it's really on. Crazy.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that's what really killed it. I have him right here, but
nice. Just got
face.
Him.
His face is like
great.
Killer. The paint application on there, it's so lightly applied that it's like, man, you can almost see through it. It's like, man, it looks like the figure actually painted himself.
Yeah, that's cool. Little details like that really go a long way, and that's one thing that Mezco is really good at doing.
Yeah,
it's just adding those little fine details that really add an extra element.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah.
What are your predictions?
Well, staying on at least one of the companies, Mezco, since they're diving a bit deeper into the Bat family, I would love for them to do a Mezco Alfred.
Ooh, nice.
I think Alfred would be really cool with the cloth goods. Like, give me a cloth goods tux.
Yeah.
With the what's he called? The little gloves that he wears, and give me different head sculpts. So I can kind of like what Mattel did, where they included
give you a young Alfred.
Yeah, give me a young Alfred. Give me a Michael Keaton style Alfred. I can't remember his name. People are gonna kill me that I didn't remember his name. Yeah. Give me a new the Batman Alfred.
Michael Crane.
Yes, I think that's him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe the guy that plays Smeagol. I don't know.
From the new movie. Oh no, Michael Crane was from.
He's from.
We're doing horrible.
Christian
Bale. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. But yeah, I want like an Adam West style Alfred head. I want like a more modern one, whether it's Christian Bale or the Batman.
Yeah.
And then like give me just a bunch of different like accessories and like the little tray and
a tea, a coffee.
Just some little stuff like that you can add into scenes and have Alfred.
That would be really cool because they've done their own take on Batman, right? And they've gave us like a trilogy or like a timeline. You had like our young Batman Ascending, Supreme, Sovereign, it was like a timeline, right? It was like, so if they were to do an Alfred following that, like, just give us a bunch of different head sculpts. His outfit doesn't have to change, but you can give us a young Alfred, a middle-aged Alfred, and like an old Alfred, and then maybe like a comic-inspired Alfred or something to go with the classic 2-pack Alfred. But so I think that would be that'd be awesome.
That's actually a great idea. Give me like an animated style head, kind of like from BTAS. Yeah, that would be cool because they do a lot of comic style or animated style heads now.
Yeah,
I remember Gomez came with one.
Yeah,
just I'm all for more Bat family, whether it's Alfred or Batgirl or Red Hood, you name it. Just give me more of the Bat family. But I think one of them I would really want is Alfred.
I think everybody could jump on that ship.
Yeah,
sign me up for some Alfred. That'd be cool.
Sure. Yeah. Another one is where is he? Oh yeah, my so I want some more Watchmen.
Yeah.
And I think Felix Toys did a great job. So one of my predictions are a Felix Toys comedian.
Oh, nice.
He was one of my favorite characters from the comics. He's probably one of the darkest characters in all of comics history. But yeah, I just want like a comedian style because he's sort of like a mercenary look. he looks kind of like a badass. He wears like the bulletproof vest and his arms are exposed and he has a lot of weapons and, his face mask. I just think that would be a really cool figure, not just from the Watchmen, but just kind of like a generic bad dude that you could use.
Yeah.
But yeah, from Felix Toys, because I think they did such a great job with that ink blot. I would be totally fine with them doing a comedian or even really anything else from Watchmen. I just hope they dive a bit more into that line.
Awesome.
I'm going to do a third one just because I'm cheating. But I want, since Mafex is giving us all the Supermen.
Yeah.
We got Cyborg, we got the Hush style, we've got the TD, the Dark Knight Return style.
Yeah.
I want a Superboy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like we will get that.
I think so.
They're going heavy with the Reign of Superman. So if they don't give us a Superboy, I think people are going to riot. But
and while you're at it, give us a Supergirl. Like I'd take a Supergirl.
Yeah. Or give me a Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
Anything. I'll take more. I'm just all about building out the ranks, like with Batman and with Superman. Superman's got a lot of people that are part of the Supes family.
Give me a Crypto.
Yes.
And a like a 2-pack with Superboy. Right?
Yeah. That would be cool.
But I was just thinking if just like Mafex and like now Mafex is killing it with the DC and Marvel stuff. Like let us complete the rest of the Justice League. Like I would love to have Mafex, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Manhunter. Like just give us the rest of the Justice League. Yeah, they would kill it. And then in that same type of, it doesn't have to. I know it's the Hush line that you're doing, but it doesn't even have to be the Hush line. Like they can just give us a compatible Wonder Woman because it looks like he's coming out of the comics. I know it's a very specific to the comic of Hush, but the Harley Quinn that came out and the Poison Ivy that's been solicited, even if you never read Hush, you're like, man, that's a Poison Ivy that stepped out of the comics. Like we want comic accurate figures. I don't care about the story arc so much, but to have those representations of the comic figures stepping out of a comic in figure form. When I see those, people take those amazing toy photographers taking pictures of like Batman and Supes from this particular line, I'm like, they can recreate a whole different comic scenes, So I would love to be able to complete a Justice League team by Mafex. That would be killer.
That'd be great. Yeah, and you got me thinking like if they're going to do more female style Mafex figures, I would love a Mafex Zatanna.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She would be great. Because like you said, they got that female buck now. They did Poison Ivy. They've done Catwoman, Harley Quinn. Zatanna feels like she would fit really well on that buck.
Yeah.
It's just one of those characters that, oh man, I don't even remember a Zatanna figure that I have. Like, I don't think DC Direct did one. I don't know I bet you DC UC did one at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not one that comes to mind that I'm like, that's a good Zatanna figure.
Yeah. I think I've seen maybe one and it's been the same one, but it's not something that's like, oh yeah, that one's a really good one. And she's always in high demand because people are always like trying to customize her or kit bash her to try to make a Zatanna figure. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I would just love Mafex to give us the Justice League team. Like, let me complete my Justice League team, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Just fill out the ranks a bit more. Yes, you've been giving us a lot of Batman, a lot of Supes, and I'm very happy about that. But let's start filling out those ranks a bit more. Let's broaden the horizons of who you're going to give us. Because the Prime's point, I'll take all of it.
But okay. So, and not to go back, but okay, they gave us Eradicator. They need to give us Eradicator, but they're giving us Cyborg, Supes, Steel, the one and the one in his all black outfit. But they given us a classic Supe? Because the Hush Supe, that's from Hush.
No, I mean
they haven't given us like a Superman from Return of Superman.
No, all we have is
when he fought Doomsday or something. Like they should give us a Superman from that line, a classic Supe, and then like a battle damage Supe. I don't know. Doomsday,
Eradicator's great. Doomsday's great. Yeah, I mean all these are great ideas.
Yeah, Blue Beetle.
Oh man, Blue Beetle, that would be sweet, especially because we're getting that new. What?
I was like, we're going down the rabbit hole. I'm like, we're going to list all the characters: Green Arrow, like Booster,
all of these. I will take them all.
Give me the
Please,
whole team.
Mofex.
Aquaman.
You have guaranteed revenue from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even think about Eradicator.
Yeah.
Oh, Eradicator would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superboy, Eradicator, Steel.
Yeah.
Those are all from Reign of Superman.
Yeah, because I'm like, we're missing a Superman from Reign of Superman. We're missing like, give me Superman and then a coffin that goes with them or something, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
For sure. That would be great. Or a Doomsday.
Yeah.
I need to stop. Yeah, we got to stop talking to Prime because you're going to make me spend a lot of money next year.
Come on, Mayfix, sign us up.
Unofficial 100%. Sponsor.
Yeah.
I would be on for all of that stuff. So please. Yeah, I think
a lot of us
I say don't do it, but do it. All right, cool. Well, that was fun. You know, top 5 figures, our figure predictions, some holiday traditions. We tried to give you guys some different stuff for this episode. I know people are doing some different things. Kind of not following the same formula that we normally do for our episodes, although we are going to do a figure aficionado.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let us know what do you guys want to see from what companies? Well, what are some of your wish lists? What are your predictions for next year? Who's gonna? What figure next year is gonna be on the hot list? I think there were some surprises this year, and some not surprises. Some things that we expected, but yeah, it's been a crazy year. Can't wait for 2023.
Yeah, it's gonna be another crazy year. But yeah, let us know what you guys. What's something that you would just throw money at the screen if you saw it? Last but not least, we want to make sure that we cover a figure aficionado.
Yes.
And somebody that I've been seeing just absolutely killing it with the holiday scenes. And just he kills it in general. His creativity.
Yeah, we're a big fan of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, big fan of not only his toy photography, but what he does on YouTube as well. But let's go ahead and show him off. You guys know who he is. Count Lowry, Art with Toys.
Killing it.
Absolutely killing it.
And his consistency, that's what I mean, come on. Like, we got the Santa picture up with the Coke. Just looking at it makes you want to go grab a Coke and just chug it.
Nice, he absolutely nailed the recreation. And quick work with this classic Santa from Fresh Monkey Fiction. He must have just got this thing in and then did not one, but he did 2 shots with it.
Yeah.
So Santa kind of in his Santa layer. Papa Noel here. But yeah, he just does a lot of great shots. I love this Batman theme shot of Batman on the rooftop and the snow's falling. Very classic kind of Batman style. He did this awesome Spider-Man web slinging.
Yep, there he is, my number 1.
Yeah, with your number 1.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, it just really creative. You don't see, I mean, I love this Ebenezer Scrooge one, like a Scrooge reference. You've got death there, kind of just showing, hey, this is where you're going to die, Scrooge.
Yeah.
Just really creative ideas. Like, I have a hard time doing holiday themed stuff because I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, that's holiday themed. This one's not holiday themed. What we're looking at here is that new 5K Toys turtle. But I just think I really like his creativity. Here's another Scrooge shot. You got this new Daredevil in a shot. I don't know if this is the new one or not. Maybe Prime, you can tell.
No, yep, it is.
It is.
It has the butterfly joints. Yeah. And that's the thing with Rick. He's like, he gets the stuff and he's right away, he goes to work with it. You know, he puts it into work. And when I saw the Santa pictures and even the Mayfair, I'm like, damn, this guy works fast. Like, he's grinding. Or he could be just in that flow where I know sometimes some of us just feel it and you're just like, oh, I know exactly what to do. And it looks like he's been killing it at least. So, as always, huge fan of you, Rick. So keep killing it, my dude.
Yeah, you're always just posting fire, man. So yeah, keep up the great work. If you guys for some reason have not discovered Rick's account, please go follow him, Art Wit Toys.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the bio. But yeah, just shout out to you, man. You're killing it. I can't wait to see what else you do for the holiday. And yeah, shout out to all you guys that are doing holiday shots. There's so many of you that are doing some great holiday photos. It's one thing I love about the holidays. You start getting some really unique, different toy photography. Iowa Watu comes to mind. He's doing some crazy shit with the Krampus and the Father Christmas, like a scene of them going at each other. So I love this time of year just for what we get from the toy photography. You know, the toy community is just really gets involved.
Super creative.
And toy drives out there. If you guys can donate, go donate to someone. There's other people that aren't as fortunate maybe as some of us. So just remember that. Be kind to others, and I hope you guys are all having a great Christmas. Hopefully this is a positive part of your Christmas, whether you're catching this during the day of or after. We just appreciate everything that you guys have given us in your support this year.
For sure. Sat down the family and you guys told them, hey, we're going to listen to the Figure Booth as we open up gifts.
Right.
You're welcome. Like, enjoy Christmas.
Speaking of holiday traditions, that should be your new holiday tradition, right?
Yeah. Everybody come down. We're going to open gifts. No, we're going to first listen to the Figure Booth. And then we're going to open up gifts.
And this is a great time to spread the word with family. If you got family in town that maybe hasn't heard us before, you're like, hey, check out the Figure Booth and hit that subscribe button.
Make sure you follow them.
Yeah, make sure you follow the Figure Booth and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we post new episodes, when we go live. We're going to try to keep this strong going into the new year, into 2023 and beyond. So,
what if they're asking like, okay, I followed them, I hit the like button, I subscribed. But what if I want to keep up with you? Finger flocked Nate, Fanflake Nate. There's so many names. Where do I keep up with you?
Negative Nate. I've got to start keeping a list. Shout out to the Booty Rangers or the Figure Fanatics or Prime's Privates or Nate's Nards. You guys are always supporting, and I've got at least 10 different names now. But yes, if you want to find me, my real name is at FigureFan_Nate. I'm on Instagram, Vero, and Facebook. And Prime, where can they find you?
And you guys can find me all under Prime to the First and Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. And I think by the time we see you next time, it'll be the new year. So happy 2023. Can't wait to celebrate that with the rest of you. Thanks for tuning in.
Enjoy those presents.